cone type of catch right there on Shauna Wright for out number 1. Shauna gave it a ride, but it got up in the air a little too high and ended up settling into the glove of Leslie Rogers. That'll bring up Jenna Clifton.
The wind is blowing towards center field a little bit, and it held it up just enough for Rogers to get to it. She had a long run starting in straightaway center field, made that catch all the way in right center, and barely got there in time. Shauna's going to get something down before this game's over.
Here's Jenna Clifton now. First pitch swinging. It's a liner that's going to be gloved on one hop, deep and short. Gloving it over there is Boyd, who hustles the ball to first base in time to get Jenna Clifton on one pitch for out number 2. Score at 6-3. 2 out, nobody on for Morgan Stewart.
We're a total of 1 foot from having runners at second and third or first and third, because Shauna's would have been a double, and Rogers barely got to that. And then a nice play by Caitlin Boyd, moving back up the middle, got Clifton by a half foot.
First pitch to Morgan. That's a called strike. So just catching up on a couple of things. First of all, the reason we're on the air already describing this scheduled game that was supposed to be at 4 is because we had the conclusion of a suspended game last night that we had to get in first. That was at 2 o'clock. We got through it pretty fast, and the schedule was to start this regularly scheduled game 30 minutes after the conclusion of the suspended game. So we're kind of moving along here at a brisker pace. And this game itself going at a brisker pace. As Stewart lays down a bunt up the third base line, Donnerworth gloves it and throws the first in time to get Morgan for out number 3. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Huskies here in the second. We'll go to the third. The score, Arizona State 1 and the Huskies nothing.
We all need advice sometimes. When it comes to your vision, talk to people who've been there. They'll point you to UW Medicine Eye Institute at Harborview, like Dave Larson, whose glaucoma was caught and treated early, or Monica Lowe, who thanks to refractive surgery can finally see without glasses. People across our region trust their vision to the UW Medicine Eye Institute. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Request an appointment and read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
When my roof needed repairs, I didn't know where to turn. With so many roofing companies, how could I choose? Then a friend told me about MCR Roofing. She said they offer top-notch service at an affordable price. They use eco-friendly solutions and provide pressure washing, roof maintenance, gutter cleaning, leak repairs, and skylight installation. She also said they do general remodeling, including kitchens, bathrooms, and additions. I'm glad I chose MCR Roofing. You will be too. Find out more at badroofnomore.com.
Well, the sun continues to fill up the field here at Husky Softball Stadium. The Husky band in attendance as well and entertaining the fans that are filling the stadium up slowly but surely for Game 2 of this weekend series between the Huskies and top-ranked Arizona State. Looks like they might have 1 or 2 extra band members out there from last night when the weather conditions weren't quite as ideal as they are today, John.
You're thinking more band members coming out in the sun than in the rain at night? Why would that be?
We go to the top of the third. Arizona State leads the Huskies 1-0. And they're right at the top of the lineup as well as Caitlin Boyd will step in. She grounded out to short her first time up, so she's 0 for 1. First pitch to the all-star shortstop is swung on and fouled back behind the backstop. In fact, it lands right on top of the press box here, 0-1. Boyd leads the Sun Devils in batting average, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, trips to the dentist, just about anything else you can think of. And she plays shortstop and hits leadoff.
When she makes those trips to the dentist, she's helping clean teeth. She's not actually going because she leads them in flossing as well.
The next pitch, down low, 1-1. I wonder if she goes to see Maggie Wagner's dad, Mike.
Well, he's an orthodontist.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's true. He doesn't fill cavities.
No. But he does straighten teeth. If you need them straight, he's the man to go to.
Boyd, a left-handed hitter, swings the next offering from Caitlin Inglesby and fouls it down the right field line. 1-2. We didn't get to mention that Jenna Clifton, who batted in the previous half inning and grounded out to short on one pitch, has gotten the start in left field and is batting 6th. And we think it might have something to do with the fact that Victoria Hayward, who normally is in left field, didn't have quite a good game in game number 1, striking out looking a couple of times. Swinging a one-hopper hit back to Inglesby. She'll underhand at the first for an easy out number 1 on a very tough hitter in Caitlin Boyd.
I think it was Victoria did a nice job. Made a great play last night in that first game on a ball that hit the wall. She was able to corral it, throw to Jen Salling, who then threw a strike to home to get a runner trying to score to end an inning. But when she watched 2 pitches for called strike 3s at the same part of the plate, I think that was enough for Coach Heather Tarr. Want to give somebody else an opportunity. That other person's going to be Whitney Jones.
Infield playing in at the corners for Rogers, who runs up on the pitch. That's in for a called strike, 0-1.
The reason I say it's going to be Whitney Jones because Jenna Clifton is taking her place in left field. But Jenna was a DP last game, so was in the batting lineup. Whitney Jones, the DP today, so she's going to be getting those extra at-bats.
That'll be in the bottom half of this inning. Still working on the top half, though, with 1 out and nobody on. Rogers takes a pitch outside. It's 1-1.
Mike, we saw Whitney get some time in the Sunday game against Arizona, against Shelby Babcock. Did a really nice job. She was unafraid, competed in the box each and every at-bat.
Next delivery, swung on. Ground ball hit through the 3-4 hole on the right side sharply, as Ashley Tuiasosopo will field it and get it back in. A 1-out single by Leslie Rogers, which is exactly what happened in the first inning when Rogers ended up coming around to score the only run of the ball game to this point, as Arizona State leads it 1-0 in the third.
And that was a clean base hit right in that 3-4 hole on the right side. Nobody was going to make a play on it.
Now Kaylin Castillo stepping in. At least 1 foot so far. He's a swing and a one-hopper back to Inglesby. She's going to go to second and get the lead runner. No relay throw from Salling. And I got the key thing. That was an out on the play. 2 out now. Runner still at first. And the cleanup hitter, Krista Donenworth, to step in.
Just really impressed with Caitlin and her all-around game. Talked about how she's improving in the circle, how she's developing at the plate. But she plays her position defensively as well as any pitcher. Ball got back to her pretty quickly. 1 high hop, no hesitation. Turn, got that runner out there at second base.
First pitch to Donauer, swung on, line drive in the left field, gets over the head of Clifton. She'll field it off the turf. Here comes the runner, going to be held up at third base as Jen Salling was ready to fire to home and get that runner. She probably would have been gunned down with the arm that Salling has, not to mention the accuracy. But nonetheless, Donenworth is on at second base with the 2-out double, and the Sun Devils have runners at second and third with the 2 out, and Annie Lockwood, who's been dangerous the entire series to this point, due up.
Well, and Clint Myers showing that he can learn, because he was ready to send and he said, you know, I've seen this before. Let's stop this before we get another runner thrown out to plate by Jen Salling. So wise move by Clint Myers.
Well, with Lockwood having such good success off of Inglesby, and what they're going to intentionally walk her, and yes, indeed they will, with first base open. Lockwood has been a thorn in the side of the Huskies. In game 1, she was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, one of them a solo home run, the other a 2 RBI double. Also, her first time up in this game, hit a hard ground ball to third. That was backhanded nicely by Morgan Stewart, but Stewart threw wide at first and was charged with an error. But she hit the ball very well. So with first base open and 2 out, they figure there's no sense messing around with Lockwood. And it looks like they're going to just intentionally walk her. But before we see the 4th wide pitch, Lance Glassel's coming out to have a talk with Tanya Gehrig behind the plate.
Don't know what he's unhappy with, but there's something. I mean, it's an intentional walk. Don't know what he can be unhappy with the umpire with an intentional walk.
Now there's the 4th wide one. So Lockwood will throw the bat away and head on down to first base. So the bases will be loaded for Sam Parlick, who struck out swinging to end the first. You don't see too many intentional walks in softball, do you?
No, you don't. And
they're more likely to pitch around a hitter rather than just intentionally walk her.
Saw Jamie Clark hit a home run on somebody trying to intentionally walk her.
First pitch to Parlick. And that's a called strike. Parlick up there hoping to make the Huskies pay. But the bases loaded now, and after having intentionally walked Lockwood.
And you've got to have faith in your pitcher, too, because now a walk scores a run. So the Husky pitching staff showing that they like the way that Caitlin's zoned in.
Next delivery, swung on and fouled up the first base line. Quickly 0-2 on Parlick.
Now here's where Caitlin really is going to develop over the years, finding whether it's her rise ball, developing that changeup a little bit more, or she's got such a nice hard curveball. If she could get a little more spin on it to get the outside corner of the plate like Jen Spediacci used to do, she's got to find a pitch that's her out pitch.
Next delivery now. Swung on and missed, and again she strikes out Sam Parlick with runners in scoring position and gets out of a jam here in the third. Nice job of pitching by the freshman Caitlin Inglesby. Well, for the Sun Devils in the third, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 big runners left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. The score, Arizona State 1, the Huskies nothing.
The key to winning for the Huskies is teamwork. It's the same when seeking legal counsel. When it comes to personal injury, automobile accident, and workers' compensation representation, more people are teaming up with the law office of William Hochberg. They have experience you can trust, and they'll take the time to explain your rights. Find them online at hochberglaw.net or visit them in downtown Edmonds, where they have plenty of free parking. The law office of William Hochberg. Help is on the way.
This is Alternative Talk, 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9 Digital HD3 Seattle.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
Today's Huskies broadcast is brought to you in part by James G. Murphy Company. See them on the web at murphyauction.com. By MCR Roofing. Bad roof? No more. By Emerald Cove Catering Company. Turn off the stove and call the Cove. By Clean Crawls, excellence in serving people. And by Cedar Ridge Materials Incorporated, spreading rock one driveway at a time.
Here we go to the bottom of the third inning, the Washington Huskies and Arizona State, the top-ranked team in the nation, in a good battle, which the Sun Devils lead right now 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Welcome back. It's Mike Brown along with John Cowley. Got some clouds up above now blocking the sun out. We've had a lot of sunshine up to this point. And hopefully now, Huskies getting up here for the third time will be able to figure out Dallas Escobedo, the freshman right-hander for the Sun Devils. Huskies seem to have her figured out pretty good in game number 1 of this series. They scored 3 runs off her in the first 2 innings and added 1 in the third. But have been shut out ever since. Kimmy Pullman to lead off and runs up on a pitch that's in for a called strike, 0-1.
Last inning, they really got the bat on the ball against Escobedo with Shauna Wright driving a ball to the warning track in right center.
Swinging a one-hopper, hit the third, Donnerworth with it. She hustles the ball over to first base in time to get Pullman. Check that Maggie Wagner on the one-hopper. So score at 5-3 for out number 1. Hey, fans, are you planning a wedding or other special event? You want to make it unforgettable? Well, then call Emerald Cove Catering. They've been voted Best Caterer by you on King 5 Evening Magazine's 2010 Best of Western Washington. They're specializing in fresh Northwest cuisine, and they will make your event a success. So, turn off the stove, call the Cove. Find out more at emeraldcovecatering.com. That's emeraldcovecatering.com. Proud sponsor of Husky softball. Called strike to Whitney Jones up there for the first time as she faces her fellow freshman Dallas Escobedo. Now 0-2 on Jones. Right-handed hitter who throws left-handed. The pitch. And that one a called strike 3 on Whitney, and she turns around and heads back to the dugout. Not very happy. Second strikeout of the ball game for Escobedo, and we go to the top of the lineup now for Kimmy Pullman.
That was a ball that Kaylin Castillo was picking up just a little bit off the dirt, but it had such a nice break to it. So you see that Escobedo's adding a nice drop ball to that rise, her hard curve.
First pitch to Pullman, slapped that and fouled down the third base line. So 0-1 on Kimmy, who struck out swinging her first time up.
Mike, we've been following the Husky golf team, their women's golf team. They're done for the day. They are currently in 7th place, and doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to catch them and bounce them back all the way to 9th. They might end up at an 8th. Looks like Husky women's golf's going to the NCAA tournament.
Good for them. Rise ball misses up high and evens count at 1-1 on Pullman, who leads the Huskies in batting average, as she has most of the season. She's at .447. Left-handed hitter is Kimmy, as the pitch is down a little bit low, 2-1.
Moving her average back up to .333 in the Pac-10 with that 2-for-3 effort in the first game. She cooled off a little bit against Tegan Gearhart down there in Stanford.
As always, the Sun Devil infield playing in as Pullman tries to bunt her way out and fouls it off. 2-2. Wind kicking up here at Husky Softball Stadium. And it is windy for sure. Not a breeze. It's a pretty stiff wind right now.
And blowing, where it was earlier, mostly towards center or left field, now cutting across the diamond from first to third.
Next delivery up high, and Pullman has worked the count full here with 2 out and nobody on in the bottom of the third. Sun Devils have out-hit Washington 4-1. Nikki Williams has the only knock for the Huskies to this point. A 1-0 lead for Arizona State. As the next pitch from Escobedo swung on, there's a dribbler in front of the mound and going to be picked up by Escobedo and throws the first in time to get Pullman on a very close play. Bang, bang variety for sure. And that'll do it for the Huskies. 1-2-3 here in the third. We'll go to the fourth. The score: Sun Devils 1, the Huskies nothing.
Is your family making a retirement living decision? Consider Norse Home Retirement and Assisted Living. Norse Home is a not-for-profit continuing care community on Finney Ridge, serving Seattle with compassionate care for 50 years. Come for their monthly Sunday brunch and discover their quality services, sterling reputation, and fabulous location with $1 million view. Plus, enjoy free breakfast. Find out more at norsehome.org. Norse Home Retirement and Assisted Living. There's no place like Norse Home.
To make it in this league, you need to give 100% of the time. Why would you expect anything less from your auto mechanic? The professionals at Seattle Auto Service Center are the area's leading automotive professionals. They feature ASE certified technicians, trained and certified to perform diagnosis, repair, and service on all systems of your automobile, truck, and SUV. For all your auto repair and maintenance needs, visit them at 6718 Roosevelt Way Northeast or find out more at SeattleAutoServiceCenter.com.
Here we go to the top of the fourth inning. Husky band continuing to entertain between innings for what we're expecting to be a capacity crowd here at Husky Softball Stadium. It's a late arriving crowd, and that's because this game started way early, and it's because of the suspension of Game 1 last night. We got 4 innings last night, and what was a messy affair. The groundskeeping crew losing the battle to Mother Nature, trying to keep the field playable. Finally, we gave up after 4 innings, decided to resume the game at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And we did indeed, got the final 3 innings in. Arizona State won it 6-4. And since this game was scheduled to start 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1, we ended up being a little bit early schedule-wise. And so that's why we're already going to the 4th inning, 10 minutes after this game was originally supposed to start. Arizona State will come to bat here with Mandy Erfer leading off. Swings and hits a line drive foul on the first pitch from Caitlin Inglesby. Got a pretty good pitcher's duel going here. The score 1-0 in the top of the 4th inning. Caitlin Inglesby has allowed 4 hits, including a double, and of course the 1 run. But she seems to be settling in somewhat as she moves along in this game. Delivers a change that misses inside, 1-1. She did allow the bases to get loaded in the third, but one was an intentional walk, and then she got out of it by striking out Sam Parlick to end the inning. Now Inglesby's next delivery is swung on and again hit foul down the left field line. So 1-2 the count to Mandy Erfer, the Sun Devil first baseman.
You can see that the Huskies, knowing that they're going through this Sun Devil lineup here for the second game with the same pitcher, they're really using the both sides of the plate. Nicely done by Caitlin Inglesby.
Now the 6'1" right-hander to the plate. There's a check swing and a ball that just misses outside. Husky faithful wanted to see a fist in the air for strike 3, but they're not going to get it. So the count will be 2-2 instead on Erfer.
It's a ball that has been called a strike other times today. So.
And the next pitch, that's in there for a called strike 3. And Inglesby, one pitch later, gets the call that she wants. And Mandy Erfer gets rung up by Tanya Garrett behind the plate. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Inglesby, and the first out of the top of the 4th. That'll bring up designated player Alex Johnson.
That was a change of speed that got her there. Took a little bit off it, and Erfer not ready for it. Just watched it settle in the right across the plate for strike 3.
First pitch to Johnson. That swung on and fouled out of play. 0-1 on Johnson, who grounded out back in the second, so she's 0 for 1.
Johnson, a lefty, has that classic golfer slice swing. Everything she hits goes to the left side. Got that spin, takes it away from that left fielder.
Arizona State scored the only run of the ball game in the top of the 1st. We've been scoreless ever since. Swing and a miss by Johnson. It's 0-2.
That's a run that shouldn't have scored if the Husky defense hadn't let down Caitlin Inglesby. Throw from Morgan Stewart that was a little bit high that Nikki Williams was unable to corral and come down and make a tag. If she'd done that, we'd be in a tied ball game.
Next pitch now. That's going to miss outside as Inglesby works Johnson away, as is usually the case with an 0-2 count. So now 1-2. Still got cloud cover up above after the sun was shining for pretty much the first 3 innings. A change just misses inside. So 2-2 on Alex Johnson. Wind kicking up here. It is kind of chilly and swirling. Temperature in the mid-50s. Windermere Cup crew races are in the books, and the Huskies did quite well, thank you. Won all 4 of their Windermere Cup races, 2 on each side, men and women. There's a swing and a 2-hopper hit to Nikki Williams at first. She'll glove it and take it to the bag herself for out number 2. And that'll bring up Taylor Harrow.
Looks like, Mike, we're also almost to the end of an era. The last track meet here at Husky Stadium is being held today, and all they've got are a few field events. The big guys out there throwing some things around, but for the most part, track meet is over. It's the shot put over there, and it looks like a couple pole vaulters still in play.
First pitch to Taylor Harrow outside. You got a favorite track or field event?
Mine was the discus. When in junior high, I threw the discus. I was big enough then, and everybody else kept growing, and I didn't. So come high school, they were all out throwing me.
Next pitch swung on and fouled away. It's 1-1. I like the discus a lot. I like the javelin. I like the hammer throw. And then as far as track events, let's see. I always like the mile. And the 400 is a pretty good one, too.
I like the steeplechase, too.
That's interesting.
Those are crazy people up there running over stuff.
Next pitch, low and outside. Of course, I love the decathlon. That's not a single event. There's 10 of them, but that is really something.
My athletic career peaked when I was in 9th grade, Mike. I went and won the district discus championship. Went home, played a baseball game, pitched, struck out 13, got the win. And that was it. That's highlight.
All downhill from there, huh? Next pitch just misses inside. It moves the count to 3-1. They're going to appeal that as to whether or not Hero went around. And Fred Barker at third says, no, she didn't. So 3-1 indeed. Yeah, I always grew up with appreciation for track and field. The 100 is 100 meters, not as big on my list as for most people. Swinging a 1-hopper over the head of Morgan Stewart, and that's going to be fair out in the left field. Jenna Clifton will gather it in and throw it back. Goes off of Maggie Wagner toward first, but no advancement by Harrow. So a 2-out chopper single out in the left field keeps the inning alive for the Sun Devils, and we go to the top of the lineup for Caitlin Boyd.
Well, and these Sun Devils are just not easy to get them 1, 2, 3 in any inning because a number of players you go throughout who just can put the bat on the ball and cause a whole lot of trouble.
Caitlin Inglesby did get the Sun Devils 1-2-3 in the second. That's only the second time over the 2 games, and the first was in the 7th when Arizona State really didn't matter. They had a 2-run lead. Just had to finish the Huskies off in the bottom of the 7th, which they did indeed, to win the game 6-4. Here it's 1-0 Arizona State as Shauna Wright goes out to have a quick talk with Inglesby.
Trying to remember the name of the tournament today. It was the Ken Shannon Invitational was the name of the tournament held here, the last one at Husky Stadium. That's going to be renovated. It's going to be a beautiful facility when they're all done.
Kind of a historic day here today on campus with the final track meet being held and also the Windermere Cup crew races, which the Huskies won on the silver anniversary of the Windermere Cup. The men taking both of theirs, the women taking both of theirs. And the pitch, a change that's in for a called strike. 1-1 on Caitlin Boyd, who's 0 for 2. I bet that doesn't happen very often. She's grounded out twice.
Caitlin Inglesby's done a nice job figuring out Caitlin Boyd. She was just 1 for 3 in the first game.
Boyd batting .436 coming into this series as the pitch is a called strike on the outer edge of the plate. So Inglesby continuing to move the ball around very well in the strike zone. Side to side, up and down. She's 1 strike from getting out of this 4th inning. That single by Harrow, the 5th of the game for Arizona State. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. Throw on down to second base. Got to be wide of Wagner. Goes out into center. Backed up nicely by Pullman. The pitch was outside and will even the count at 2-2. So a stolen base by Taylor Harrow puts her in scoring position now for Arizona State. And for Harrow, her 6th stolen base of the season.
Like, that's not something you see very often. When Shauna Wright's got a chance to make a throw, and she did there, set her feet, but let go just a little too early, and that ball was well wide of the base. Kind of a surprise to see from Shauna Wright, who's so good at throwing runners out.
Now the 2-2. Swing and fouled off. So we'll stay right there for at least one more to Caitlin Boyd.
So Caitlin Boyd just 1 for 5. You know that means she's due, and now they've got a runner in scoring position for her. Caitlin Inglesby's really going to have to bury down.
I'd like to get that final strike. The count is 2-2, and the pitch on the way. Swung on, high fly ball into left field. Pretty routine for Jenna Clifton, who will make the catch for out number 3. And the Huskies escape trouble here in the 4th. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're halfway through this scheduled 7-inning affair, and the score, Arizona State 1, the Huskies nothing.
If your attic or crawl space has been damaged by smoke, water, mold, or rodents, the last thing you want to do is crawl around trying to clean it up. So call Clean Crawls. We specialize in crawl space cleanups for commercial and residential accounts. Whether it's lower crawls or attics, we feature insulation removal and installation, vapor barrier removal and replacement, and odor elimination and sanitizing. Let us know how we can help you. Find us online at cleancrawl.com.
Petra Mediterranean Bistro invites you to enjoy the ultimate in Mediterranean dining and cuisine. Our mission is to offer our guests an exquisite dining experience with an extensive variety of appetizers, authentic dishes, and our house-made specialties. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or dessert, come discover the authentic tastes of Jordan, Lebanon, Greece, Turkey, and Northern Africa right here in Seattle at 2501 4th Avenue. For reservations or catering information, call 206-728-5389 or see us at petrabistro.com.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a tight ball game at 1-0 in favor of Arizona State, the top-ranked team in both national polls. Huskies, meanwhile, ranked number 11 or 13, depending on which flavor of poll you look at. Mike Brown here, along with color commentator John Cowley on 1150 AM, KKNW, the home again for Husky softball and baseball in 2011. Jen Salling will lead off for Washington as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dallas Escobedo has retired 7 straight Huskies and leads off Salling with a pitch that's on the outer half of the plate for a called strike. She's retired the side in order the last 2 innings and got Caitlin Inglesby to end the first. So that's 7 straight. There's a change that's up high. 1-1. Saling popped out to second base her first time up. She's 0 for 1. Looking to get on track there, looking for her first hit against Dallas Escobedo in this series. There's a called strike. And the right-handed freshman out in front. Saling, one of 3 seniors to be honored tomorrow on Senior Day here at Husky Softball Stadium. There's another change, low and outside, 2-2. The other 2, Ashley Tuiasa-Sopo and Morgan Stewart. So if you can, make it out tomorrow.
Big to do. Celebrate those seniors, raise a little money, and celebrate Mother's Day.
There's a swing and a high pop-up behind second base. Coming in, Rogers, going out the second baseman, Parlick, and it'll be Parlick to make the catch for out number 1. Hey, folks, do you remember the 1940s? Probably not. In fact, most of us don't. But K.C. Martin Automotive and K.C. Martin Transmissions certainly remember. They were established in 1948, and their goal was, and still is, to provide you with the latest technology, the highest quality, the most affordable rate, and to do it in a minimum amount of time. Thank goodness some things never change. Find out more at kcmartin.com. Glad to have them on board for our Husky softball broadcast. First pitch to Nikki Williams, misses, 1-0. Sky's getting a little darker now as we move along in this ball game. We had sunshine the first 3 innings, and then the clouds moved in. There's some grayness up there. Hopefully it won't be bringing much, if any, rain.
Well, that's one of the reasons they probably started this game a little early, just in case the weather turned later in the afternoon.
Count now 2-0 as Williams will swing and foul one back, make it 2-1 as it lands in the stands.
The lights have been on the entirety of this game. Really haven't noticed them very much because it's been sunshine out, but this is why they have them on, in case the clouds cover the sun. Still good visibility on the softball field.
Williams up there now with the count 2-1 on her. Here's the next pitch from Escobedo. Swung on and fouled again, so 2-2. Nikki singled with 2 out in the first. That's the only hit of the ball game for the Huskies. In fact, she's the only base runner, as Escobedo has retired 8 straight since. And the next pitch to Williams. High and inside, almost hit her. So it's now full. Count now full at 3-2.
That's one thing that Dallas Escobedo has done a much better job this game than she did the first game, Mike, and that's control of the strike zone. She was walking batters in the first game, and those batters came around to score. Not doing that in this game.
Good observation. The pitch. There's a swing and a drive to right center field. It's got a chance to get out of here, but no, right on the warning track is the right fielder, Annie Lockwood, to make the catch. That ball took off, but I think the wind might have knocked it down a little bit and kept it from going out, and instead settled into Lockwood's glove for out number 2.
Mike, that's a ball that normally when it's hit here at Husky Stadium is out, but as you said, the wind cutting across the diamond, going from first base towards third base, just knocked it down and allowed Lockwood to make that catch up against the wall on the warning track.
So here's Caitlin Inglesby. Flew out the left back in the first. A change to her to lead off, and it's in for a called strike. A reminder that John and I will have live radio for tomorrow's third and final game of this weekend series. Game time noon. We'll be on the air at 11:45. Hope you can join us for that. Another change, and this time it's up high, 1-1. So glad to be on the air against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. We're just hoping we can call a victory for the Huskies.
Be nice to have a little bit better news for Husky fans.
Thought Williams was going to tie it up that last swing, but no go. So it's still 1-0 Arizona State as Inglesby takes a cut and misses. 1-2.
I was with you, Mike. I thought tie ball game. That looks good.
She tagged it. She did tag it. That wind is cutting across the field. There's a swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the Huskies again. 1-2-3 here in the fourth, and now Dallas Escobedo has retired 10 straight Washington Huskies. We'll go to the 5th inning. The score still Sun Devils 1, Washington 0.
Lewis, my last text message asked if you were getting my text, and you texted back, No.
Strange times, Clark.
I sent you a link to Horizon Air and AlaskaAir.com.
As long as you're not asking to friend me.
There are all sorts of interesting things there. Can you guess how many miles you get just for signing up for the mileage plan?
7.
500.
Close.
And guess how many flights Horizon and Alaska have out of Seattle?
7.
I'll give you a hint. More than any other airline.
7.
More than 200. And how many cities Alaska and Horizon fly to nonstop from Seattle?
Not 7.
I have no idea, but I bet I could find it online.
You do that, and then go to iwishclarkwouldshutupnow.com.
Once I have the answer, I'll text it to you.
Text this, Clark.
Lewis?
Join the Alaska Airlines mileage plan and earn generous miles towards free worldwide travel on Alaska, Horizon, and our many mileage plan partners. Sign up today at alaskaair.com.
Husky band leading the way as they try to rally the Huskies here in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series against the top-ranked team in the nation, the Arizona State Sun Devils. How you doing, fans? Mike Brown back here at Husky Softball Stadium, along with my color commentator, John Cowley, on 1150 a.m. KKNW. Hey, looking ahead a little bit, just want to make sure you know, not only will we be on the air tomorrow for the third and final game of this weekend series. It starts at noon. 11:45 a.m. pregame. But John and I will have radio for the first 2 games of the Huskies' final regular season series, which will be in Corvallis against Oregon State this upcoming Thursday and Friday. The team also will play on Saturday, but we won't be able to do that game because of me. I got something to do back here in Seattle. But we will have the first 2 games for you on Thursday and Friday. After the Huskies finish up on Saturday, that'll be the end of the regular season. Then on Sunday, they'll have the selection show, and Washington will find out where they're going to go in the NCAA tournament. Then once they do start tournament play, John and I will have live radio the entire rest of the way of the Husky season. And hopefully it will end on a Tuesday in Oklahoma City. That's what we're hoping for.
Or a Wednesday. I'd even take it on a Wednesday.
I would take that as well. Leslie Rogers leading off here in the 5th. And Inglesby delivers one in, and now another one in for a called strike. Quickly out in front, 0-2 on Rogers, who's had very good success against Inglesby. She's 2 for 2 in the ballgame and has scored the only run to this point. Sun Devils lead it 1-0 here in the 5th.
2 for 3 in yesterday's game.
Next pitch, there's a called strike 3. Rogers looking at 3 straight strikes for out number 1, and that'll bring up Kaylin Castillo.
Did not make the adjustment, and Caitlin Inglesby said, "You're going to give me the call there. I'm going to go right back there." 2 beautiful pitches, screwballs, right on the outside part of the plate.
5 strikeouts for Inglesby now, and Castillo, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game, will step in.
The Huskies are showing here this weekend, Mike, that they can play with anybody, whether it's a pitching duel like this 1-0 fair or slugging match like the first game was. They're ready to play with the top teams in the country.
Next delivery, swung on, and a line drive hit to Wagner. She has to go down to one knee to make the catch, but squeezes it for out number 2. And remember, line out to 4, 2 out, nobody on for Krista Donenworth.
The Huskies are doing this also with a depleted roster, Mike. They've got a lot of injuries. They're 3rd on the depth chart at second base. Jenna Clifton certainly was not penciled in to be the starting left fielder. So Heather Tarr making do with what she's got, and they're competing.
First pitch to Donenworth, up high. It's 1-0. So, yeah, we've kind of said this before, but here's the scenario. The Huskies started the season with 17. Hooch Fagali blew out her knee. She's redshirted. So they got 16 left. This weekend, they have 3 players injured who are not able and available to play for Washington. Swinging a ground ball is going to get through a right side. Maggie Wagner dives for it, couldn't quite come up with it. And now Ashley Tuiasosopo scooping it up off the grass, throws it to first just in case Donenworth was cashing it down the first base line, but she was in ahead of the throw. So a 2-out single for Donenworth. So again, 3 players now after Hooch Fagali was redshirted, not available this weekend. Taylor Smith is one of them. She's having surgery on Wednesday. back surgery. She's done for the year. And you got Jaren Faasua, who's out with concussion issues, and Marky Krieger-Zier, who has a stress fracture in her femur of her right leg, and she's not available this weekend. So now you're down to 13 players, 2 of which are pitchers only. So now you have 11 position players. 10 are out there, so we only have 1 on the bench, and right now it's Victoria Hayward. That's what head coach Heather Tarr is working with. Next pitch misses inside. It's 1-1.
Chance to talk to Marky Krieger-Zier before the game, the resumption of yesterday's game, and she says she feels great. She's ready to go. She just hasn't gotten the clearance. She also said MCZ has not caught on as much as we'd like yet, Mike.
Dang. Next pitch down in the dirt, but Shauna Wright hangs on. Count moves to 2-1 on Annie Lockwood. I think Marky's going to be available to play against Oregon State, starting on Thursday.
She says all she needs is clearance from the medical staff. Didn't get it, but she's ready to play. She's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I saw her working out yesterday and before the game. Next pitch, inside. So 3-1 to Lockwood. They might be pitching around Lockwood, who has, I don't want to say terrorized Inglesby, but has certainly made her pretty uncomfortable. Having a great game 1. Got on by way of an error in the first time up in this game on a hard hit ball. Then she was intentionally walked. Now swings, and it's a ground ball through the hole on the left side, and she continues to hit the ball well against Caitlin Inglesby. That'll move Donenworth into second base. So back-to-back singles with 2 out here in the 5th for Arizona State. And Sam Parlick will come up. I think we might have a pinch runner coming in for the Sun Devils. Parlick is the opposite of Lockwood in this game. While Lockwood has been able to get on base and swing the bat well against Inglesby, Parlick has struck out swinging on 2 occasions. So you know she's going to be pitched to right here. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter as Lacey Goodman will come in and hit for Parlick, who has obviously struggled against Inglesby. So Clint Myers going to his bench to give himself a better chance here, trying to tack on a run with runners at first and second.
Well, just as you were noting that Parlick was struggling, Myers goes to his bench and finds Lacey Goodman.
That's a good move by the head coach, Clint Myers. The pitch on the way. A little bit outside. Good in that it gives you a better chance. It doesn't have it's necessarily going to work out. But
Good.
With Parlick having a tough time up there, she can re-enter the game defensively. So you might as well go to your bench, considering the fact he's got so many players, just the opposite of the Huskies. He's got 25 players to choose from.
And Lacey Goodman is second on the team in batting at .417, but she's only had 48 at-bats. So in limited opportunities, she's made the most of it. Got 3 home runs, 16 RBIs in 20 hits. So Lacey Goodman has certainly made the most of the opportunities that she has got.
That's a clutch hitter right there. Goodman, a 5'6" senior out of Mesa, Arizona. Right-handed hitter up there against the right-handed throwing Caitlin Inglesby. Caitlin trying to keep Arizona right where they're at. A 1-0 lead here in the 5th. Runners at first and second, 2 out. The pitch. And it's outside to make it 2-0. Inglesby just got a visit from pitching coach Lance Glassell. So whatever they talked over hopefully will be effective in trying to get out of this inning. Now the next pitch to Goodman. That's up high. And the count now 3-0.
A little surprised that they didn't do the pinch runner for Donenworth. You may think he's already pinch run for her once this game, but I believe it was the completion of the first game when she had the pinch runner. So she's in the previous game, and it was the pinch runner, Bailey Wingness, who went in to run for Erfer, who ended up scoring.
Count is full. And the pitch on the way to Goodman now. Swung on. Infield pop-up. Shauna Wright giving chase. Can't get it in foul territory. And we're going to do it all over again with the count 3-2.
And Shauna didn't catch that ball right off the bat, so was not able to find out where it was going to land. She was the only one who was going to have a shot. Nikki Williams charging, Caitlin Inglesby coming from the circle, but neither one of them was going to be able to make that play. And Shauna just didn't see it as it left the bat.
So we'll do it all over again with the count full. Here comes the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. And a big strikeout again for Caitlin Inglesby, number 6 in the ball game. And now hopefully she'll get some support from her offensive teammates as we go to the bottom of the inning for Arizona State in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 4.5 innings of play, still the Sun Devils 1, Washington nothing.
There's really only one way to save time and money when buying or selling a home, and that's by working with a trained real estate agent like those at Quorum Laurelhurst. They'll expertly guide you through the complex maze of negotiating a good deal. Quorum Laurelhurst may already have the buyer or the property you're looking for, so see them today at 3505 Northeast 45th, near the Husky Ball Field, or call 522-7003. Quorum Laurelhurst, serving Seattle's finest neighborhoods.
The players on the field today didn't start their careers at the collegiate level. Thanks to their parents and coaches, they learned valuable skills through youth sports programs. The following sponsors encourage you to get your children involved: E&J Cabinets, Johnson's Auto Repair, Clean Crawls, and Bell Kirk Electric.
Here we go, the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Washington Huskies scheduled to send up Shauna Wright, Jenna Clifton, and Morgan Stewart against a very effective Dallas Escobedo here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch swinging his right, hits a pop-up right side, and that's going to settle into the mid of Sam Parlick, who has re-entered the game and quickly won out here in the 5th. Escobedo has now retired 11 straight Huskies in this ball game.
Shauna knows better than that. She went after the changeup. She's more comfortable with the hard stuff. Last time she got a hard pitch, put it out to the warning track, but just popped up the changeup.
Here's Clifton now. Swung at the first pitch the last time she was up and grounded out to short. Clifton now getting a visit from head coach Heather Tower up the third base line. Jenna being moved up in the lineup to number 6. She batted 7th in game 1 of this series and singled her first time up. Ended up scoring one of the Huskies 4 runs before they lost 6-4. With the count 1-0, the next delivery is in for a called strike. So we're even at 1-1 on Jenna Clifton. Clifton out of Glendale, Arizona, just like Dallas Escobedo, who is in the circle. It's freshman versus junior right now. Here comes the next pitch. This change is going to miss inside and make it 2-1.
Escobedo's donned some goggles of some kind, Mike, and I'm not quite sure. She didn't have glasses on earlier, but now she's got some kind of eyewear on out there.
Next pitch to Clifton, swung on, line drive foul down the left field line. Clifton batting .292. She has no home runs and 7 RBIs. Trying to get something going here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Huskies have had 1 base runner in this game. It was Nikki Williams who singled with 2 out in the 1st. And now it looks like we got some rain coming down here at Husky Softball Stadium. Next pitch way inside. So it's full now on Jenna Clifton.
Clifton was just a foot from a base hit earlier where she put a ball up the middle that Caitlin Boyd, the shortstop, made a nice play going to her left and just made the throw ahead of Clifton.
Now the full count delivery swung on, popped up, and that's going to get out of play. Back into the stands, back completely out of the stadium. Jenna Clifton, always been listed as a utility player. She's kind of been moved around and has done a lot of pitching this year, especially in the part of the season before Pac-10 began. Did a lot of middle relief for head coach Heather Tarr. Now playing left field in this game, swings and hits a one-hopper to Donenworth at third, who hustles the ball over in time to get Clifton for out number 2. So they'll score at 5-3. That's 12 straight retired by Escobedo. And we go to Morgan Stewart, third baseman. Morgan's dad, John, is in attendance today. He said last night was his first game ever at Husky Softball Stadium, and his daughter is a senior. A pitch, called strike. Now, she is from Riverside, California. He just never was able to make the trip up here until now.
I believe she's got siblings as well, and that's part of it where Rowena would make the trip up, and John would stay back.
Next pitch swung on, fly ball right field. Should be playable for the right fielder out there, Lockwood, and she makes the catch. And a quick 1-2-3 inning again for the Huskies, this time in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th. The score continues to be Arizona State 1 and Washington 0.
Have you heard the saying, we don't do windows? Well, at Charlie's Window Cleaning, we do what you don't want to do. Windows. Inside and outside, we're your clear choice for quality residential and commercial window cleaning, roof and gutter cleaning, and pressure washing. In fact, our highest priority is providing you with sparkling customer service. Find us online at charlieswindowcleaning.com and look for our ad in the Home Mag.
Installing, refinishing, or restoring your hardwood floors? Artisan Hardwood Floors provides the highest quality craftsmanship at the most affordable price. For generations, we've been working hard to earn your trust and exceed your expectations. We're experts in all types of hardwood services and specialize in Swedish finish with a wide range of color and top finishes. Whether it's installation, sanding, refinishing, restoration, or stairwork, call 206-933-1703 or 425-644-9639 or go to artisanhardwoodfloors.com.
Hey fans, you know where Husky fans go to celebrate, don't you? Well, I'll tell you what, for 57 years, it's been the North Lake Tavern. After all, they have all your favorite beverages there. They have their specialty pizza by the pound, and also an enthusiastic group of staff and friends waiting to celebrate the next Husky victory. Why don't you stop on by tonight? Hey, it's Saturday. I think a pizza sounds pretty good, don't you? The North Lake Tavern and Pizza House, located at the north end of Lake Union. We do remind you, 21 and older for inside dining at the North Lake Tavern and Pizza House, a longtime sponsor of Husky softball on the radio. John?
Cheryl Berkovich runs the North Lake Tavern and really been a fan of Husky sports. She does stuff with the football program and softball and baseball as well.
Here we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Sun Devils sending up the bottom third of their lineup. Mandy Erfer to lead off. She struck out looking on both of her previous occasions at the plate against Caitlin Inglesby. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1. And now the tall right-handed Inglesby to the plate with a pitch that swung on and a fly ball to right field. Kimmy Pullman having to run it down over toward right center and does so for a quick out number 1. That'll bring up Alex Johnson.
You saw Kimmy had that all the way, took off with the crack of the bat. Cut across the field, was easily able to snag that out of the air.
And Johnson, designated player, 0 for 2 in the ball game. She's grounded out a couple of times. This game taking on a much different look than game number 1 of this series. Not only was game 1 suspended after 4 and the final 3 innings pushed into today, but the final was 6-4. We're only at 1-0 here in the top of the 6th. Same pitchers.
Caitlin did a nice job after that first inning, the 5th inning of the first game, where she got roughed up a little bit, settled down, started using both sides of the plate, has done a masterful job here today.
Next delivery now is a called strike. The first one missed inside, so 1-1 to Alex Johnson, the designated player. Arizona State leading 1-0, scored the only run of the ball game in the first, and it was an unearned run. Gives you an idea how tough these two pitchers have been today. Next delivery, swung on a miss, so 1-2 to Alex Johnson. While Caitlin Inglesby has given up just one unearned run, Dallas Escobedo has obviously not given up any and retired 12 straight. She's got a one-hitter in the works right now. Nikki Williams with a single and the lone Husky hit. The next pitch, swung on, ground ball right side. Maggie Wagner charging, gloves it, throws to first, and it's in time to get Alex Johnson for out number 2. So now it's up to Taylor Harrow.
Keep saying, Mike, it just doesn't seem like a one-hitter to me as well as the Huskies have put the bat on the ball and just keeps finding the gloves of the Sun Devils. Just makes you feel that they've got the opportunity, that they can break through here.
As usual, Taylor Harrow will draw in the Husky fielders, outfield and infield. Here's a line drive hit on the left field. It's going to be caught by A diving Jenna Clifton who holds on as she gloved the ball. I think her mitt was touching the grass when it went into her glove. She held on. The umpire was right there to call her out. Yet he's going to get an argument from Clint Myers, nonetheless, the head coach of Arizona State. But a 1-2-3 inning in the books for Caitlin Inglesby. And we'll go to the bottom of the sixth with the score. Sun Devils 1, Huskies nothing.
Neighbors are great sources of advice. It's no different when it comes to your health. You just need to talk to the right neighbor. Like your UW Neighborhood Clinic, part of the UW Medicine Health System. Take it from Steph Walker, who breathes easier without the bronchitis. Or the Renoir family, whose girls have their annual checkup every November. You'll find 7 UW Neighborhood Clinics across the Puget Sound region. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
Want to get organized? Want more space? Then contact E&J Cabinets and make the most of your space with a Murphy wall bed. Today's wall beds are durable, sleek, reliable, and built for comfort while maximizing the space in your room. You can also save money with our pre-drilled, pre-finished, ready-to-assemble, do-it-yourself bed kit. For all your custom cabinets and Murphy wall beds, call 206-375-3211 or compare our prices at murphybedseattle.com. Mention the Huskies for $100 off the installation of a Murphy wall bed.
Maggie Wagner will lead off for Washington here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Arizona State leads it 1-0. Wagner to be followed by Whitney Jones and Kimmy Pullman. Dallas Escobedo back into her line. There's a bunt attempt, and Wagner's going to pop it up to a charging Kristen Donenworth from third base, and on one pitch, there's one away. And the streak continues for Dallas Escobedo, the starting right-hander for Arizona State. She's now retired 14 in a row. Here's Whitney Jones with one out in the sixth, getting up there for just the second time in the ballgame. First pitch swinging and fouls one back and out of play. Jones struck out looking back in the third.
Never really took the bat off her shoulders in that at-bat. Showed she's not going to do the same thing this at-bat, attacking that very first pitch.
Next delivery to Jones now, a change, and that one misses. So 1-1 to Whitney.
Just like down in Arizona where we saw Whitney inserted against Shelby Babcock, you know that she's seen Dallas Escobedo playing against her in California Summer Ball, so good move by Heather Tarr.
Pitch swung on, fly ball out in the right field. Rogers has to charge. She's not going to get there in time, and Whitney Jones drops one in front of the center fielder Rogers for a one-out signal. And maybe this is the time to do it, John. Boy, they score a couple right here. Get Arizona State out in the top of the seventh. It's all over, just like that.
In 2009, there was a game here where Ashley Charters hit a walk-off home run for a 3-2 Husky win. And be nice if we didn't have to go to the bottom of the seventh for the Heroics. Get it done here in the sixth. It'd be great.
First pitch to Kimmy Pullman as we go to the top of the Husky lineup. That's a called strike. Jones at first has good speed. I don't think that Heather Tarr will be putting the game in motion in terms of sacrifice or anything with one out already. Here's the next pitch. There's a bunt attempt by Pullman. That was strictly to try to get on base, not sacrifice.
Went off her foot as well. Unfortunately, she was still in the box. Actually, seen that called once this year where a Husky batter was called out for the ball hitting them out of the batter's box.
So the count 0-2 on Kimmy Pullman. Here comes the next delivery. It's swung on, popped up left side. Should be playable for the left fielder Harrow. She comes way in to make the catch for out number 2. So the Huskies running out of outs here. 2 out and a runner at first, and Whitney Jones and Jen Salling to come up. That single by Whitney Jones, by the way, broke up the streak by Dallas Escobedo of 14 straight batters retired. Just the second hit of the ball game for Washington. First pitch to Salling, a change, and that's in for a strike. Called strike.
Jen's due to do something good for the Huskies.
I agree with you there, boy.
0 for 2 in that first game, had the sacrifice.
0 for 2 in this game. Tries to bunt her way on, pops it up, leaves it up in the air too long for the first baseman charging Mandy Erfer, who makes the catch, and the inning is over just like that. Wow. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left. We go to the 7th inning. The score still Arizona State 1, the Huskies nothing.
Don't just change the face of your landscape. Unlock its potential with Cedar Ridge Materials. From small one-yard loads to massive excavation and retaining wall projects, Cedar Ridge Materials offers a diverse variety of services that will help transform the vision of your yard into reality. Whether it's topsoil, bark, sand, gravel, or excavating, land clearing, or trench digging, find Cedar Ridge Materials in your Yellow Pages or online at cedarridgematerialsinc.com. Cedar Ridge Materials.
When your home is your castle, your landscape needs Castle Walls. Castle Walls is a landscape design and build company with over a decade of experience. We specialize in retaining walls, modular block walls, pedestal pavers, interlocking pavers, synthetic grass, outdoor kitchens and fireplaces, and a full line of residential and commercial landscaping services. We're a can-do company ready to make your landscape dreams come true. See our work at CastleWallsLLC.com. Castle Walls, construction for a lifetime.
Well, here we go to the top of the 7th inning. A game whose score has not changed since the top of the first when the Sun Devils put up the only run of the ball game. Nothing but goose eggs up on the scoreboard since then, and it's 1-0 Arizona State as they come to bat here in the 7th inning. Now at the top third of the lineup scheduled to face Caitlin Inglesby. That'll be Caitlin Boyd, Leslie Rogers, and Kaylin Castillo. Well, John, no doubt you want the Huskies to be on top ideally, but it has been a very good ball game nonetheless.
After that first inning, it's been very well played by the Huskies, too. They've been supporting their freshman pitcher out there defensively. A great play by Jenna Clifton to end that last inning. Just haven't been able to find the holes when they put the bat on the ball against Dallas Escobedo. You're going to have one more at-bat to get it done, and it's important for Caitlin to keep it a one-run game till then.
And that means getting this tough-hitting Caitlin Boyd out. Leads her off with a pitch that's inside 1-0. She's done a very good job against Boyd, who is 0 for 3 in this ball game, but she is a very, very dangerous hitter.
Just 1 for 3 in the first ball game, but that just means she's due.
She did have a sac fly RBI later in Game 1, but has been shut down here in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Game 3 tomorrow, 12 noon. Here at Husky Softball Stadium, we will have radio for you. We'll be on the air at 11:45. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Boyd. Swung on, ground ball hit right side. It actually went off of her foot. That's going to be ruled a foul ball. So 2-1.
Tanya Guerin clearing out a little bit in front of home plate to give Caitlin Boyd an opportunity to walk that off a little bit. Caitlin's ready.
The count is 2-1 on Caitlin Boyd, leading off the top of the 7th. Sun Devils with the narrowest of leads, 1-0. The pitch, and that's a called strike, 2-2. Also, the only run of the ball game, John, unearned. Came with 2 out on a throwing error by third baseman Morgan Stewart, who made a very nice stop, a backhanded stop on a 2-hopper, a hard shot down the third base line. But she turned and threw the ball, the first in time but wide of the bag. And the next pitch up high, 3-2.
And Nikki Williams went up to get the ball, got her glove on it, but wasn't able to keep it in the glove and come down and make the tag. So just a tough play for Morgan Stewart.
Count is full on Caitlin Boyd. Left-handed hitter, starting shortstop, leadoff hitter, and the pitch on the way, swung on, grounded foul over toward the Sun Devil bench up the first base line.
Her best pitch today, Mike, has been that screwball that to the lefties is on the outside part of the plate. She's been tying up righties with it inside as well. See if she can get that outside corner and get Caitlin Boyd here.
Be a big first out for sure. Here's the wind and the delivery. A check swing that is just up a little bit high. They're going to appeal to Fred Barker up at third. He says, no, Boyd did not go around. So a leadoff walk here in the 7th.
I think Caitlin's trying to find out where that pitch was and asking, was it up high? Because that caught the inside part of the plate, and it looked like it was at the upper part of the strike zone. But Tanya Gehrig did not want to pull the plug on that one.
So we move on to Leslie Rogers, who's 2 for 3 in the ball game and has scored the only run in this contest. But before she sees a pitch, she's going to have a talk with head coach Clint Myers. Hey, if you're a Husky fan, you're probably a dog fan. And you know what? If you'd like to help dogs and other animals, log on to furry5k.com and register for the Seattle Animal Shelter's 12th annual Furry 5K fun run and walk. Now, you'll help raise money for Seattle Animal Shelter's Help the Animals Fund. It provides veterinary care and supplies for sick and injured animals. Register at furry5k.com and join us June 12th at Seattle's Seward Park. Sounds like a lot of fun. Once again, that website, furry5k.com, benefiting the Seattle Animal Shelter.
Mike, we got Grandpa Tuiasa Sopos made an appearance here in today's game.
First pitch to Rogers, lays a bunt down the first base line. Williams will field it, throw to first where Maggie Wagner is covering, and a successful sacrifice executed by Rogers. It goes 3-4 and moves Boyd into second base. She represents an insurance run for Arizona State, who leads at 1-0 here in the seventh. So one away for Kaylin Castillo, the number 3 hitting catcher for Arizona State. Inglesby into her wind. First pitch swung on and fouled away. Arizona State seems to be swinging a lot more, especially early in the count as this game has gone on.
Kaylin Castillo is one who does like to swing early. Got a first pitch base hit in game 1 to drive in a couple. They're just a little bit behind it.
Castillo 1 for 3 in this ballgame. Singled way back in the first. Next pitch to her. And that misses low, maybe a little inside. 1-1. Sun coming back out here and filling up most of the field at Husky Softball Stadium. We got a shadow extending out in right field where Ashley Tuiasa-Sopo is. Compliments of the football stadium scoreboard. And the pitch. That bounces in. So we're even at 1-1 on Kaylin Castillo.
Just not able to get that changeup where she can make it at least tantalizing for them to take a swing on. Bounced 2 in a row in the dirt.
Castillo, a right-handed hitter. Always starts with 1 foot, mostly out of the batter's box. That's her left foot. Now steps in as the pitch is delivered, misses outside, throw on down to second base. Bounced into Maggie Wagner, but the runner was back in ahead of the throw anyway. That's Caitlin Boyd.
Shawn Wright does a nice job, leads the conference in pickoffs, but not able to get the runner there.
So it counts 3-1 on Castillo. Here's the pitch, swung on, ground ball hit hard but fouled, just barely foul up the third base line. So we've gone full on the catcher, Kaylin Castillo. Good crowd out here at Husky Softball Stadium. We're expecting a sellout crowd. It kind of looks not quite entirely sold out. I'm sure there's some people that just couldn't make it. And some showing up and it's going, wait a second. How come we're already late in the ball game when it's supposed to start at 4? That's because the game 1 suspended last night and had to push some of that into today. And they got a kind of an early start and finished it up before the 4 o'clock mark for when this game was supposed to originally start.
And we had a couple of rain showers move through, so it looked like a prudent move to get the game in while they could, but now the sun's back out. There's no doubt we're going to finish this ball game, Mike.
This game moving along at a pretty good clip, too. Here comes the full count pitch, and Castillo dances out of the way as it gets down in the dirt and away from Shauna Wright. It's going to allow Caitlin Boyd to move into third base as Castillo issued the one-out walk. So Arizona State putting some pressure on late here with runners at first and third and just 1 out.
And that extra base is huge right now because you've got Donnerworth in there who can certainly lift the ball into the outfield, and all of a sudden you're scoring a run without the benefit of a hit. A sac fly would bring in Caitlin Boyd from third base, and so that pass ball could come back to haunt the Huskies. Again, it's getting back to the defense. You got to make it, certainly have to find a way to support your pitcher and make the plays when you got the opportunity.
Well, the Huskies talking it over in the circle. trying to be careful here late in the ball game. It's close enough. It's as close as the Huskies want it to be, at least in terms of Arizona State scoring. They lead it 1-0, and now have runners at first and third with one out. And Clint Myers is going to go to his bench and bring in a pinch runner. It's going to be Bailey Wigness.
Wigness pinch ran earlier today in the conclusion of game number 1. Ended up coming across to score.
She'll be over at first, running for Kaylin Castillo, the catcher.
She also stole the base when she pinch ran earlier today, so she might be going.
Krista Donenworth is the hitter, and the first pitch to her is up high.
Huskies got to think about what play they want to put on with first and third, and less than 2 outs. That runner goes. Are you going to try and gun him out, or try and prevent the run from coming in from third?
They're going to have to pitch to Donenworth, because Annie Lockwood, who's been a pain in the Huskies' side in this series so far, is on deck. There's a swing and a line drive that's going to drop in for a base hit out in the right field. That'll score a run and make it 2-0 in favor of the Sun Devils here in the 7th inning. On the play, Wigness moves into second base as Boyd comes in to score and make it the 2-0 margin right now for Arizona State, and they still have a ways to go before the Huskies get them out of this inning. Another pinch runner coming in for the Sun Devils, Kayla Ketchum, taking over for Donenworth over at first. So again, first and second, still just one out. A 2-0 lead for Arizona State, and even worse, Annie Lockwood is at the plate.
So many of these base hits from the Sun Devils, Mike, are just nice, easy swings. They're not trying to do too much. They just make solid contact and push that ball the other way. Nice piece of hitting there.
So the first pitch on the way to Annie Lockwood. Misses outside, 1-0. Caitlin Inglesby was cruising along pretty good. She got into some trouble in the third when the bases were loaded, but got out of it. She had a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, but now coming into trouble here in the 7th. Delivers down low and makes it 2-0 on Annie Lockwood, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game with an intentional walk.
Caitlin not quite as crisp as she was in those middle innings. Able to hit her spots just a little bit better.
Next pitch swung out. One hopper hit the Morgan Stewart at third. She steps on the bag there, throws to first, and completes the double play. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered right there for Washington. They get out of the inning with the double play. However, they do give up the 1 run. And that was on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. Huskies down to their final 3 outs. Will go to the bottom of the 7th with the score of the Sun Devils 2 and Washington 0.
If you're considering buying a new, pre-owned, or factory-ordered vehicle, consider Chaplin's North Bend Chevrolet. Why? At Chaplin's, we're committed to providing the highest level of service for our customers, being the best without compromise while giving back to our community. We're just what you'd expect from a hometown dealer. Learn our story and browse our inventory online at ChevyOutlet.com or visit us at 106 Main Avenue North. Chaplin's North Bend Chevrolet, inviting your family to be a part of ours.
This is Alternative Talk, 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9 Digital HD3 Seattle.
If you're in the dark when it comes to choosing an electrician, you're not alone. What makes Belkirk Electric stand out? It could be their top quality customer service. Maybe it's because they do the job right the first time. Whatever the reason, folks keep calling Belkirk Electric for all their commercial and residential power, light, and wiring needs. Get enlightened. Call Belkirk Electric today. They're in your yellow pages. That's Belkirk Electric. Fast, friendly, and reliable.
Well, time's running out on the Washington Huskies. They trail 2-0 and come to bat here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They had the heart of their lineup due up against freshman right-hander Dallas Escobedo. Let's see if they can come through with a couple of runs at least. Nikki Williams, Caitlin Inglesby, and Shauna Wright due up for the Huskies. First pitch to Nikki Williams leading off, and that one's going to miss inside. Williams has 1 of just 2 hits for the Huskies in this ballgame. They came back in the first inning, and up until there was 1 out in the 6th, it was the only hit for Washington. Next pitch swung on and grounded foul. That'll even the count up 1-1. Whitney Jones has the other hit for the Huskies. That snapped a 14 batter retired situation for Dallas Escobedo. Escobedo continuing to work in the circle. The freshman has a record of 24-3 this season. Very composed in the circle as Escobedo delivers the next pitch. It's swung on and a fly ball hit the left. Harrow, a routine catch for her for out number 1.
That was Nikki made solid contact. Just put it right at left fielder Harrow. Just had to come in a couple of steps. Was able to find a gap with that. It would have had the spin to get down, but hit it right at the fielder. Now the Huskies down to just 2 outs.
Got an official attendance figure for you, 1,365. Coming out to see the Huskies playing the number 1 team in the nation, Arizona State. So once again, 1,365 here at Husky Softball Stadium. First pitch to Caitlin Inglesby is a called strike. Now Escobedo's next delivery is in for a called strike again. So Caitlin's going to have to get the bat off her shoulder here.
You're going to be careful of that rise ball. Escobedo's ahead of you. She'd like to take it up out of the zone, see if she can get you go fishing.
Next delivery now. That one clearly inside to make it 1-2. Inglesby 0 for 2 in the game. Fly out, a strikeout.
Fly out was hit pretty well, but again, Husky bats just not finding the holes.
Next pitch swung on, hard line shot, but right at Donenworth at third base, who makes the grab for out number 2. And now the Huskies are down to their final out.
That's just more of the same. She tattooed that ball. Hit it on a rope, but Krista Donenworth showing that she played there for a little while. The senior just put the glove up, made a nice grab.
So it's up to Shauna Wright to try to keep it alive here. First pitch to the catcher, swung on. There's a ground ball that's going to find the hole on the left side and out into left field. So Shauna swinging at the first pitch again. This time it pays off as she's on with 2 out, and it'll bring up Jenna Clifton.
She was determined to make me eat my words, Mike, because that was a changeup. She's been struggling with the changeup, but did a great job. Sat back and did a nice job of putting that right in the 5-6 hole. And that brings the tying run up to the plate. That's all you can ask with 2 outs. Nice job by Shauna Wright.
Wright will be lifted for a pinch runner as Victoria Hayward will come out and take over at first base. Hayward, the only bench player available right now for the Huskies, as they're injury depleted. But more important right now, just try to keep the inning going. First pitch to Clifton. And that one's low and inside. Jenna singled her first time up in game 1 of this series. And it was a sharp single as well. She eventually came around to score. 0 for 2 in this ball game. A couple of ground outs. Next pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball left field. Back out at Harrow. Has room but catches it right on the warning track for out number 3. And the Huskies go down to defeat. Boy, Clifton gave it a ride. It looked like it might have had a chance. The wind wasn't blowing when it needed to be, and it settles into the mid of Harrow, and the ball game is over. For the Huskies in the 7th, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Again, the final score, Arizona State 2, Washington nothing. Back with the final totals after this timeout.
We all need advice sometimes. When it comes to your vision, talk to people who've been there. They'll point you to UW Medicine Eye Institute at Harborview, like Dave Larson, whose glaucoma was caught and treated early, or Monica Lowe, who thanks to refractive surgery can finally see without glasses. People across our region trust their vision to the UW Medicine Eye Institute. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Request an appointment and read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
If your attic or crawl space has been damaged by smoke, water, mold, or rodents, the last thing you want to do is crawl around trying to clean it up. So call Clean Crawls. We specialize in crawl space cleanups for commercial and residential accounts. Whether it's lower crawls or attics, we feature insulation removal and installation, vapor barrier removal and replacement, and odor elimination and sanitizing. Let us know how we can help you. Find us online at cleancrawl.com.
Hey, Clark, how about a donut?
Thanks, Lewis. Is it vegan?
I'm not sure. These are Dutch donuts from Sri Lanka.
I'll pass.
They're from the Donut of the Month Club. My first purchase with my new Alaska Airlines Visa Signature credit card.
And don't forget about the 25,000 mileage plan bonus miles you got when your Alaska Airlines Visa card was approved.
I know. I've already earned enough for a free trip. And I've got donuts. Is this frosting or fungus?
You know, Louis, when we add those miles to the miles we've already earned flying Horizon Air, we can redeem them for a round trip from Seattle to Hawaii on Alaska.
Ah, perfect. Unlike these donuts. Maybe I'll go vegan.
Top Hot now has a vegan donut.
Lead on.
I'm proud of you, Louis.
Hey, if I could get them with a side of bacon, I could really go for this vegan thing.
Earn 25,000 mileage plan bonus miles when you're approved for the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature Card. Sign up today at alaskaair.com.
Hey fans, you already know Round Table Pizza is a great place to take the family. Keep them in mind when it comes to your year-end sports banquets, whether it's t-ball, soccer, or any sport. The Eastside Roundtables can host banquet meetings and parties of all sizes. And of course, you'll always receive the best pizza in town. In Overlake, Woodinville, and Issaquah, there's a Round Table near you.
Hurry into your local Round Table Pizza in Overlake, Woodinville, or Issaquah and ask for your free Husky glass, available while supplies last.
No matter what your cleaning needs, from complete move-out and construction cleaning to regularly scheduled home cleaning, you can get green cleaning from Seattle Cleaning Service. Owner Liz Latham is on a mission to remove the use of bleach from our planet. It's amazing the results you can get with good old-fashioned vinegar and baking soda. Wait, here's Liz now.
206-782-8220. Seattle Cleaning Service.
Wow! I can't believe how easy it is to remember your number.
Well, I certainly wish I had better news to report, but the Huskies do go down to defeat to the #1 team in the nation, the Arizona State Sun Devils, by the final score of 2-0. Back here at Husky Softball Stadium, it's Mike Brown along with John Cowley on our postgame show, and here are the final totals for the ball game. For the Sun Devils, 2 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 9 runners left on base. For the Huskies, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. The winning pitcher in the ball game, Arizona State starter Dallas Escobedo. She's now 25-3. Husky starter Caitlin Inglesby absorbs the loss. Her record is now 20-8. Attendance today, 1,365. Watching the game that was played in just 1 hour and 44 minutes. No home runs hit in the ball game. With the victory, Arizona State now improves to 47-5 overall. They're 14-3 in Pac-10 play, still sitting in first place. Meanwhile, the Huskies dropped to 32-12. They're now 7-10 in conference play. Once again, the final, Arizona State 2, Washington 0. Back with our Player of the Game segment after this timeout.
Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, your next building or remodeling project is only going to be as good as the products you use. That's why every project should start with a visit to Limbach Lumber Company in Ballard or online at limbachlumber.com. You'll find a large selection of millwork, decking, and lumber, and a very knowledgeable and helpful staff. Since 1930, Limbach Lumber, quality lumber, and personalized service.
Neighbors are great sources of advice. It's no different when it comes to your health. You just need to talk to the right neighbor. Like your UW Neighborhood Clinic, part of the UW Medicine Health System. Take it from Steph Walker, who breathes easier without the bronchitis. Or the Renoir family, whose girls have their annual checkup every November. You'll find 7 UW Neighborhood Clinics across the Puget Sound region. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
A manager relies on a series of signs to send his message to the players on the field. Your business needs more than hand signals to get its message out. That's why business leaders throughout the area rely on Tubart Group. From the initial design to final installation, their knowledgeable staff can show you the most creative solutions to fit your needs and your budget. So call the pros the Huskies use, the design experts at Tubart Group at 206-223-1122, or log on to www.tubart.com.
Are you thinking that old mower of yours just won't cut it this year? Then call the pros at Aurora Lawnmower. They specialize in small gas engine repair, including tune-ups and blade sharpening. Your mower will look and act like new for a fraction of the cost. They also sell state-of-the-art equipment and new brands like Toro, Snapper, Honda, and Steel. For 40 years of unbeatable value, call 206-783-0200 or drop by. They're just 1.5 blocks north of Green Lake. Aurora Lawnmower, on the cutting edge of technology.
We're back live at Husky Softball Stadium on the campus of the University of Washington in Seattle. Mike Brown here along with John Colley after the Huskies dropped a 2-0 decision to the top-ranked team in the nation, Arizona State. Moving along into our Player of the Game segment, and we welcome for the first time up in the press box left fielder Jenna Clifton. Jenna, sorry about the loss, but at least you kept it close in the second game, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. We just got to come up with some clutch hits here and there, and we win that game.
I'm guessing you guys had to be pretty prepared for Dallas, their starter. I mean, you knew her she's from your hometown, and I'm guessing you played with or against her before.
Yes, I played with Dallas from when I was 16 years old, and she's always been a great pitcher, and, I mean, we'll get her. We will. But we got to see the ball down and drive it through the infield.
Boy, you almost had her there in this game, too, because you came up with Shauna Wright on at first, 2 out, and hit a fly ball that looked like it just might go out in left field. What'd you think when you hit it?
All I was thinking was try to tie this game up. Take a huge swing. If it goes over the fence, awesome. You know, if you hit it hard and they catch it, that's okay, too. Just swing.
Boy, I thought if the wind would have been blowing normally, maybe it would have got out of here. I don't know, but it sure was close.
You are the ultimate utility player for this team. You've been pitching this year, and now you get a start in left field. Made a great catch. Tell me what happened on that play.
Well, it was a slapper, so we were shifted to the left field line and up a little bit, and then I just got a good jump off the bat and made a diving catch, so it was awesome.
If only we had ESPN, it'd be
I know.
top play.
Top
It'd be
10.
a web jam. Be a web jam.
Nice.
Yeah, also you had a hit against Dallas in your first at-bat of the first game of this series, too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sharp single. And I was thinking at that point, you guys got out to that 3-0 lead. I'm thinking, man, this is a great start to this game. What do you think kind of happened after that? Did the weather have a big effect on you guys?
No, the weather for us, no. I just think that with, like, the break and having to come back today, we didn't really punch them first, and they kind of had the first punch at us, and we just didn't respond, so...
Well, you still got one more left tomorrow.
Yep. We're
got anything
going
planned
for the win.
As teammates, do you have anything planned for the seniors? Because it is senior day tomorrow.
Well, I know
Or are you allowed to say, anyway?
Yeah, I'm sure they're not listening right now, but yeah, there's like a nice little thing after the game, and then we have our banquet right afterwards, so...
I'm working on some Jenna Clifton jokes because, you know, I'm the MC. So I got to come up with a few good ones.
Okay, all right.
Your mom's right back here. We'll ask her. We'll get the inside
Oh, yeah,
scoop.
she'll help us out. Right.
Okay, cool.
All right, Jenna, hey, thanks for coming up. You had a great game out there. You did your best, but maybe we'll have a better result tomorrow.
Hopefully
okay?
tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, once again, left fielder Jenna Clifton joining us here on our Player of the Game segment. Huskies lose at 2-0. John and I will be back with some final comments after this timeout.
We all need advice sometimes. When it comes to your vision, talk to people who've been there. They'll point you to UW Medicine Eye Institute at Harborview, like Dave Larson, whose glaucoma was caught and treated early, or Monica Lowe, who thanks to refractive surgery can finally see without glasses. People across our region trust their vision to the UW Medicine Eye Institute. UW Medicine Health System. From here, we change the world. Request an appointment and read more stories at uwmedicine.org/stories.
When my roof needed repairs, I didn't know where to turn. With so many roofing companies, how could I choose? Then a friend told me about MCR Roofing. She said they offer top-notch service at an affordable price. They use eco-friendly solutions and provide pressure washing, roof maintenance, gutter cleaning, leak repairs, and skylight installation. She also said they do general remodeling, including kitchens, bathrooms, and additions. I'm glad I chose MCR Roofing. You will be too. Find out more at badroofnomore.com.
The key to winning for the Huskies is teamwork. It's the same when seeking legal counsel. When it comes to personal injury, automobile accident, and workers' compensation representation, more people are teaming up with the law office of William Hochberg. They have experience you can trust, and they'll take the time to explain your rights. Find them online at hochberglaw.net or visit them in downtown Edmonds, where they have plenty of free parking. The law office of William Hochberg. Help is on the way.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
Today's Huskies broadcast is brought to you in part by James G. Murphy Company. See them on the web at murphyauction.com. By MCR Roofing. Bad roof? No more. By Emerald Cove Catering Company. Turn off the stove and call the Cove. By Clean Crawls, excellence in serving people. And by Cedar Ridge Materials Incorporated, spreading rock one driveway at a time.
Is your family making a retirement living decision? Consider Norse Home Retirement and Assisted Living. Norse Home is a not-for-profit continuing care community on Finney Ridge, serving Seattle with compassionate care for 50 years. Come for their monthly Sunday brunch and discover their quality services, sterling reputation, and fabulous location with $1 million view. Plus, enjoy free breakfast. Find out more at norsehome.org. Norse Home Retirement and Assisted Living. There's no place like Norse Home.
Once again, the final score, Arizona State 2, Huskies nothing here in Game 2 of this three-game series. Arizona State did finish up a 6-4 victory over the Huskies in a game that was suspended last night, completed today. So a couple of victories for them essentially go in the books today for the top-ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. Here with a check on the rest of the Pac-10 and other scores, John Cowley.
Well, what's happened so far today is that the Oregon Ducks down in Eugene have evened up their series with Stanford. They got a 2-0 win over the Cardinal. Jessica Moore threw a complete game shutout, 8 Ks, and Kelsey Chambers hit a first-inning home run that Moore made stand up. They got an insurance run later in the game, but so that is now even at 1 game apiece. Cal took a 2-0 lead in their series with Oregon State. Last night they won 9-0 in 6 innings with Jolene Henderson providing a complete game shutout again with 7 strikeouts. And Lindsey Zeigenhurt provided the offense, 4 RBIs and a home run. But today's game, totally different. Henderson needed to go the complete game for the shutout. Only allowed 4 hits in a 1-0 Cal win. Paige Hall pitched quite well for the Beavers. Couldn't get the win. Zeigenhurt once again, the offensive hero, scoring the winning run in the second inning. In the other series, Arizona and UCLA are going to start a little bit later tonight down in Brentwood. But the first game went to the Wildcats 5-1, with Kenzie Fowler making her return from her concussion. She had 11 Ks in the return, and Bridget Delaponte tied the ASU season record for doubles in a season in her first at-bat last night. So here's what the Pac-10 standings look like. Arizona State at the top at 14-3, followed by those surprising Cal Bears. Cal 12-5 on the season, firmly in second place. Arizona Wildcats sitting right now in third. They're 9-7, followed by the Stanford Cardinal at 9-8. The Oregon Ducks with a win improved to 8-9. UCLA right behind them at 7-9. The Huskies dropped to 7-10 in the Pac-10 and are ahead of just Oregon State at 1-16. But again, it's not just the standings, it's also their RPI, how they played outside the Pac-10, which was incredible. They are going to be in a regional, folks. It's just a matter of where it's going to be. Will they have the opportunity to host? And I tell you this, a win against the number 1 team in the country tomorrow will go a long way in solidifying that RPI and keeping them up there, giving them an opportunity to host. Big game tomorrow.
Let's hope it happens, too. That game tomorrow will be at 12 noon. We will have radio for you, and we'll be on the air at 11:45. Whether you can... whether you listen or not, hopefully you can make it out to Husky Softball Stadium, because it's going to be about as big a day as you can have during a season. Number 1, it's Senior Day, and that means Jen Salling, Morgan Stewart, and Ashley Tuiasa-Sopo will all be honored with a special presentation as they play in their final home regular season game in their collegiate careers. Secondly, they're going to be raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Huskies will be wearing special pink jerseys. They will be auctioned off prior to the game between 11 a.m. and noon. And then all the proceeds go to Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the jerseys will be mailed to the auction winners the following week. And last but not least, it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So all kinds of reasons to come on out to the ballpark if you weren't planning on coming on out. If you were, we're definitely happy to know you're going to be here for a very, very special day in Husky softball program history. Once again, the final score here today, Huskies, or I should say Arizona State 2, The Huskies, nothing. So far, Arizona State taking the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Our Husky broadcast today brought to you in part by North Lake Tavern, where dog fans have celebrated for 57 years. Also, Mitchell Moving and Storage, dependable quality service since 1952. By RWA Electric, for all of your electrical needs. By Eastside Automotive and Tire, you deserve to work with a champion. And also by Seattle Animal Shelter, we're not the pound anymore. Arizona State 2, Washington nothing. Big thanks to our engineers, Chris Nasimoto and Valerie Dunn, back at 11:50 a.m. KKNW, and my color commentator, John Colley. Mike Brown saying thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. So long for now.